Hi everyone, this is Jenny Giorato, and today I'm going to be talking about Chapter 3 in Start by Jon Acuff, and I have my notes here that I'll be looking at throughout the video. I waited a couple days to post a video because some people have been saying they're catching up, they just got their book, and so I wanted to just give everyone a chance to get caught up to Chapter 4, which is what we're reading today. And in Chapter 3, though, Jon actually has a great thing that he says, which is that most of us believe the lies about purpose, and the lies are that, first of all, everyone knows what his purpose is. I always just assumed that the people that were successful knew what their purpose was, and that's how they got, to what they were doing. But the more I read this, the more I realize that everyone is kind of searching for a passion and a purpose in life, and even if they're working towards one, that they're still working towards something, and that's what the second part of the lie is, which is that you only have one purpose. I guess one of the things that I've been searching for in my life is my true purpose, and just to hear someone else say or read that you don't have to have just one purpose, it's almost like a sense of relief where this weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I don't know why it took this long for me to read something to realize that, but it felt really good reading that. And the next lie is that you should have figured out by the time you're 22. You should have figured out your purpose by now. And, I'm 30 years old, and I have a lot of friends who I think one of the reasons why a lot of people have this, dread of turning 30 or, leaving their 20s is because there's this sense of letdown that they haven't found their true purpose in life yet, or they missed out on so many opportunities and they're just like, oh, I'm 30 now, I can't do it. Or, I think that's one of the things, a few of us have a friend or two that, is following their purpose and they're focused and they're ready to go. But for the rest of us, it's okay that we haven't found that purpose yet, or the purposes that we have, because like I said, there's not just one. So that was something really interesting to read, because I feel like a lot of my friends would really benefit from just this one section of Chapter 3. And I actually messaged one of my girlfriends. She's a really good friend of mine, and we always have these deep life conversations together, and over usually a glass or two of wine. And it's always about purposes in life, and is it too late? And I think I actually text messaged her and I said, I'm thinking of you as I read this book. You've got to pick it up. So hopefully she's reading it now. I think she's in the book club. But anyway, the fourth lie is that it changes everything instantly, and I think that's what we all have been led to believe, is that once we have this purpose in life, everything will magically change. So that's another lie. And then the fifth lie is that you have to know the starting line before you cross the finish line. And I just thought that was really interesting. Jon Acuff has a great sense of humor as well, if you haven't noticed. And he just has a really good way of almost punching you in the face and just saying, hey, take a look at this information in a different way, and hopefully it'll have an impact on you. So that was some of the things that impacted me during Chapter 3. And then I wrote down a few quotes that I really took from it. Start on what matters to you. Find your purpose by starting what matters to you. You don't have to be so serious, and you don't have to make it, the end-all be-all. But just start. Where's the starting line? The starting line is start where something matters to you. It's easy enough. I don't know why I took this long to figure that out, but and then the next thing is forget finding a purpose. Forget finding a purpose. It's a never-ending story that will leave you empty. And I think that goes back to that third lie. I think a lot of people feel empty because they're trying so hard to find that purpose. And the last line of that quote is, live with purpose instead. Live with it instead. And if you start to do things like, one of the things he said was, just do everything you do with purpose. If you're watching a movie with your family, be in that moment, which actually took me to a few days ago. Aaron and I were at a concert. We were at the Lumineers concert in Austin, Texas, and everyone had their cell phones out, and they were recording one of their most popular songs that's on the radio. And as you looked out and saw everybody, we were actually pretty close to the stage, so we looked behind us too. Everyone had their cell phone, and they were either recording it or texting or taking pictures, and they said to the audience, if you all could just put your cell phones down and be with us here in the moment. And I think it starts there, because it's about enjoying and living with purpose and living in the moment. So that was one thing. And then the last quote that I wrote down was, the first secret about purpose is the door has been open the whole time. And the second secret is that it usually finds you, but purpose is attracted to motion. And I thought those were really, really interesting. I'm interested to hearing what you thought about it. And as we went into the next section of our reading, talking about shortcuts and ways to, move a little bit quicker, to open the door of the Great Wall of Purpose, the first thing is start earlier. So I think one way to put that is just stop procrastinating. And, we can always say tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. But just start now, and you can change along the way a little bit. You can adjust, but you have to get in action. And then the next thing is stand on the shoulders of giants. And no matter what we're doing, we can always find a mentor. And I think, it's just about when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so that's the next shortcut. And then the third was work harder and smarter. And the fourth is harvest someone else's fields. But you have to be in motion. You can't be harvesting someone else's fields if you're just sitting and waiting for something to come to you. It's just not the way life works. And yes, we should have high standards for ourselves. We do deserve everything that we dream about, but we have to actually take action and be in motion in order to get that. The last two things I got from chapter 3 before I actually end this is regretting that you didn't start earlier is a great distraction from moving on your dream today. And the reality is that today is earlier than tomorrow. That kind of goes back to the beginning for me when he said the lie is that you should have had everything done by age 22, because I have so many friends. I even see them, posting on Facebook and, other social media is, I should have done this by now, or they're living kind of in the past. And if we just got started today, it would be one day earlier than tomorrow, which tomorrow I'm sure everybody will be still procrastinating and saying, I should have did it yesterday. So that was interesting. And then the last one is just to make sure that while you're hustling, you don't start thinking you deserve more than you do. And this one was really interesting for me, because I know a lot of people that really think that they deserve more than they do. They live in an entitlist mentality, and I think that's also just part of the way the world is working. Everyone feels entitled to everything. And so, yes, we work hard, and yes, we deserve a lot, but just as we're working towards it, I think, take all the blessings in life and acknowledge them, appreciate them, be happy for where you're at, and also, as you're working towards your passions and purposes, to stop and just say, hey, I'm lucky for what I have, and I don't deserve more right now until I hustle even more. So those were the things in chapter 3. I didn't talk about fear because I'm actually going to be doing another video on fear. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would like to hear what had an impact on you in chapter 3. So feel free to start your own video or comment below this video on the Facebook group, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.